Hey, Orrin Ross, your favorite estate planning attorney, back to talk to you today about mortgages and estate planning. So one of the most common questions I get from potential clients is whether they can transfer their house into a trust if they still have a mortgage on it. It's a really common concern, and it makes sense because if the bank can repossess your house, why would they allow you to put it in your trust? Well, there was a law passed in 1982 called the Garn-St. Germain Act. One of the things the Garn-St. Germain Act did was allow you to transfer property into a living trust without them being able to enforce a due on sale clause. So we can put properties right into the trust without any issues. So this works for revocable living trusts, and it also works for some irrevocable trusts. We can only do this if the person who creates the trust is also the beneficiary of the trust. You can't put real estate into a trust that is going to end up with someone else, because that would prevent the banks from foreclosing on your property if you didn't pay the mortgage. So as long as you're the creator of the trust and the beneficiary of the trust, which is the case with our revocable living trusts and a lot of the irrevocable trusts we do, then you can put your property into the trust even if it has a mortgage, and there won't be any issues. Now, as far as mortgages go, with refinancing, it's really popular right now because the rates are so low, but some companies are a little skittish about letting you refinance properties if they're inside a revocable living trust. So there's no legal issue there because legally they can do it, but a lot of companies just don't want to do it because their company policy applies to all trusts and they're not getting very specific about what types of trusts they apply it to. So if you want to refinance a house and you have it in a revocable living trust, some companies will let you do that, but some companies want you to take it out of the trust, put it back in your name, and then do the refinancing. So what I do with a lot of my clients who are getting refinancing right now is we do two deeds. I do a deed to take their house out of the trust, they get the refinancing, they get everything settled, and then I do another deed to put it right back into the trust. So it's only out of the trust for a few days until all the paperwork is done. We put it back in the trust, you can get the lower rate, and we still get the protection of the trust. So if you want to refinance, you might want to consider that before you put your property into the trust, because that will prevent a couple extra steps that we have to go through of taking it out and putting it back in. So if you are interested in setting up a living trust, or you know someone who is, please give me a call. My number is 678-250-4281, or you can find me at OrrinRossLaw.com.